Hey everyone, welcome back to Haunt After Hours, where we pay tribute to the work, chaos, and fun that goes on behind the scenes. I'm Heartless Heather, and I'm here with Big Aunt.
Hi.
Nannie Jannie.
Hey y'all.
And director Gary's back.
Hi.
After an even longer hiatus, Gary, tell us what you've been up to.
Oh, work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work and then work and then work.
Gary looked
Work.
Gary looked like we went to Universal in the end of September, and he did not look as old as he looks these last couple of weeks.
Wow.
What? When you say Gary didn't look as tired.
Don't need to see a doctor? Oh my God.
It makes me nervous. Like the other day, we had a conversation, and I think I said this on the last show, that I'm like, yeah, I'll pick you up. Don't buy a train ticket. I'll come and get you. And I said,
so not only does he look old, he's got the cognitivity of,
Oh, it's awesome.
and I said, hey, I'm on my way up to, or actually, I didn't even call him up. I was just heading up there because I had to pick up Case, and he spent the night up there in his area too. And he sends a message like, yeah, I'm not going to make it. I'm like, dude, I'm almost there. What do you mean you're not going to make it?
Oh,
You should have just texted back. Yes, you are.
Yeah, I know.
I'm in your driveway. You better.
I couldn't even tell you what I did that night.
Yeah.
I was so tired.
Well, what's even funnier, last night we were doing, so Gary has written a movie for Rancho 4, and last night we did a table read, and we had the cast there, and we didn't read the whole script. We read the first maybe 15 minutes of the script, and the gal that's one of the characters was so excited. She's going to get to put a birthday hat on the pig. And Gary looked at her with the most seriousness. Why the hell would you put a birthday hat on the pig? And she's like, well, that's what you do.
That's what you do.
He's like, I did.
No memory of it.
Spoiler alert, there's going to be a
Yeah.
hat on the pig.
There was a few things they said last night. I thought, what the hell are they talking about?
Why?
Like, he didn't sound remotely
Like you?
Yeah, I was like, what? But I thought, oh yeah.
Did you can read the papers like, oh,
No, but on the way home, I was having some serious thoughts about my life choices, and I thought maybe I had to slow it down.
Yeah, for sure.
Gary just likes to be just as surprised as everybody else when he watches movies.
We want you to slow it down, but we don't want you to, like, if things have to go,
Yeah.
not the podcast.
No, the podcast is going.
other ROH movie.
And not the ROH movie.
And I
Like,
think,
We're happy with anything else too.
yeah,
Put work on the back burner.
yeah.
Just tell them they're going to have to go.
I just need to quit my job. My real job.
yeah. I do feel like that does take up a lot of your time because you're only available to shoot on Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
I
And
mean-
Sunday, I think we might have about 5 more shooting days left on my current film.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that'll be 5 weeks.
What you're really excited about. Junkman?
Junkman.
The Junk Man.
Yes, sir.
It is a movie for everybody. It's
I can't wait. I love
PG.
it. I wish I was a bigger part of that, being producer for that.
Yeah.
The
You're doing really good.
not to slow your pain, but I did just recently watch a movie that almost the whole thing was just shot in a pantry. The woman's husband like nailed her in the pantry, and almost the whole movie was shot with her.
That sounds like an ROH budget right there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
One in the bottom.
We do right here in the man cave.
Right?
It was actually a really good movie, but yeah, there wasn't a lot. That was very budget. I think. Yeah.
Well,
All right. So today we're going to be talking about Christmas haunts and are they worth it? Next week we actually have a guest that is going to be joining us that is doing a Christmas haunt. But before we dive into that, Big Aunt, share with us your boo of the week.
okay, let me pull it up here.
Laws
My loss.
that you're going to share. Yeah.
Good.
Okay. I'm sorry. I lost my place here. All right. So our 10 laws for the week here. Gary, just to update you here. You know, we try to do a lot of traveling in the haunt industry. You know that as well as anybody. And you better pay attention to some of these laws because if you happen to be in Texas, for example, stay away from the cattle in Texas. In the state of Texas, there's a rather funny U.S. law that prohibits milking another person's cow. Can't do it in Texas. Don't even try it.
I would like to know the origin of why.
Yeah, so, you know, I thought about...
Yeah, the gorilla in the back seat I don't get, but I do get why you wouldn't, like, I wouldn't want, some people you might need milk or something.
I'm just saying, in Texas, just don't do it. I don't know why I would want to be milking anybody's cows. Most of their cattle in Texas is beef cattle anyway. You're not going to get much milk out of it. I'm just saying. All right, our next law, also in Texas, it's illegal to sell one's eye. In Texas, it is illegal to sell one's eye. This is part of a broader law to regulate the sale of transfer of human organs and tissues. So that kind of makes a little bit of sense.
But is that really a problem? Like, I don't know if anybody who's transporting people's tissues.
We don't know. You don't know.
Hey, that's a border state. It could very well be. You never know.
Against the law. That's why.
That's it. Yeah, and it's a Texas law.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Fly from Texas and take it to Mexico, and you can have it have your vision back.
There
Did they do that?
I was just watching. I follow this girl, Lauren the mortician, on social media, and she got a whole YouTube out of there's a cemetery. They're not a where do you go after
Crematory?
Not a crematory. What not the funeral home? The people who care for your body or whatever.
Mortuary.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Or more?
It's supposed to be like
you're talking about before you get there.
It's supposed to be like a green type morgue, and they like the FBI is involved in everything. There's like hundreds of bodies. Like I want to say like the number was like 900 and something people that are missing. So I'm sure
the
that
dead body
part
they're using.
Like you're thinking live eyeballs, but I'm sure that there are dead body parts that are being
Body parts are expensive. I'm hearing on the black market.
Yeah.
I keep hearing about this black market. I don't want to know how to get there. I wouldn't know how to get there to begin with, but...
Hey, I have 2 kidneys. What's the value? No, I really don't worry about it.
Do you really? Maybe I might want to know how to get there. All right. Our next law, this is in Tennessee. And Heather, I think you actually know about this law. I think maybe even affected you. Did you know that in Tennessee it is illegal to use someone else's Netflix account?
Did that affect you, Heather?
So instead, what we do is we just boot them off of the account. I was using Travis's Netflix.
I think you were, weren't you? And then Travis went to go get on it and couldn't figure out how to get on it. They changed his passwords and everything. Is the money still coming out of his account?
This is mine now.
It's been coming out of my account for his email address. Like, okay, well, we'll just change it to my email.
Just saying. That's funny. All right, our next law is from South Carolina. It's illegal to work on Sundays unless you are a minister.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually a blue law. There are states with what they call blue law.
Back to Netflix, so that is only in Tennessee. Like you can do it in California.
I don't think so anymore. I think that it's an actual law in Tennessee. Now I think Netflix put a nix to it more recently to where.
No, the problem that we have, because we're a military family, so are we expected to pay for all of these things for 2 different states? Because one state and I'm in another state.
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
Actually, there is a thing that goes on there that says if you're related.
I think you pay more. I think it's like an $8 a month more, and you can get you get like an attached account or something.
Yeah, we took Travis's attached account too.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yes, So our next law is in Pennsylvania. You okay with Netflix now? We all right? We can move on. She's gonna sit over here ponder on that. We can move on, right? All right, our next law is from Pennsylvania. It's illegal to catch a fish with your mouth in Pennsylvania.
Well, good luck.
This had to go in front of a group of people.
Yeah, to me.
They all sit down very seriously and decide.
Right?
Sorry to these.
I gotta leave the backside because I went to go research some of these backstories and I just decided that was a rabbit hole I just wanted to stay away from. So I'm going to let you all just do your own research on these, and I'm just going to tell you that there's a reason for every law that's on the book. Just know that.
I'm still stuck. The gorilla has to ride in the front seat.
You think that's? I don't know if I'm going to get to it this week, but there's a better one that's coming.
The family that we started the haunt with, they had a little girl, and she had had a little bird in a video she was doing, and she took it and she bit the neck off of it. So.
A live bird?
A live bird. So it's funny to me that you can't fish, but I mean, there might probably.
I don't think that's legal either, quite frankly.
Yeah,
that's like a Ozzy Osbourne type of a thing. Isn't he the one that took the bat and bit the head off of it?
Yeah.
Got in a lot of trouble or something for that? All right, so in Oregon, keep your weapons out of the cemetery. In Oregon, it is illegal to go hunting in a cemetery.
Well, What would you be hunting?
I don't know.
Huh.
Squirrels.
Squirrels. Yeah, you go for the squirrels.
Yes. So,
Be there for the squirrels.
cemeteries and solemn places designated for the remembrance of the deceased. You cannot go hunting in Oregon. Our next law is from Ohio. It's illegal to fish for whales on Sunday. Now, folks, I don't know if many of you caught this or not, but Ohio is a landlocked state, is it not?
Yeah, you're not going to find any.
There's not going to be too many whales that you're going to be hunting.
Backstory.
Oh, I don't know.
I gotta Google that. Hold on.
Oh, but if you do find a whale any day, Monday through Saturday, it's okay to hunt those.
Just not on Sunday.
Yes.
It's like
So I don't know if there's what do they call those fisheries that
produce wells, like make like hatchery.
No, I'm thinking those that like the SeaWorld or something like that. They don't have anything like that in Ohio, do they?
I don't know. That would be the only thing that.
Yeah, but would you be hunting for a whale?
Hey, Monday through Saturday. It doesn't say I can. Just saying. All right, North Carolina drunk bingo, ladies and gentlemen. Under North Carolina general statutes, I'm not going to go through all that. You guys really don't care about that. It is illegal to operate and participate in a game of bingo while under the influence.
I
So
feel like that's the same here.
Yeah.
in California.
Yeah.
it
But
should
would
be.
fun if you could. I feel like I'd spend a little bit more money at these bingo halls for those high school fundraisers. If there was some.
I'm just saying, if there was some alcohol, some of them little old ladies at some of those things that we go to might be a little more mellow. Maybe we
The
should.
big deal is, why can't you drink while you're playing bingo?
You can't. It just has to come out of your purse in a little bottle. That's all.
Yeah,
Gotta be hidden in your.
So it says this law is essentially aimed at promoting responsible gaming practices. So I don't think it's necessarily just bingo. I think bingo is
But
just...
you can go to a casino and they're going to give you free drinks on like that as long as you've got.
Well, like here, we go to Table Mountain. Back in the day, Table Mountain used to be 18. Well, it is still 18 and over, but they don't walk around with alcohol, but they do have bars now you can get drinks at.
Yeah.
But they will not walk around with the alcohol anymore there.
So in New York, I would get in a lot of trouble for this next law. In New York, there is a peculiar law that prohibits greeting somebody by putting one's thumb on the nose and wiggling their fingers.
Hey, that's him.
Jojo get in trouble.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Jojo and I would wind up in jail for sure. It says it's commonly known as the thumbing of the nose. Is considered unconventional and impolite way to greet and mock.
But it's a law. Like, how bored are these? How many Karens are in this state? How bored are
Yeah.
they that they?
It's New York.
What
Just
did
gonna say
you-
New York.
Like,
All right.
Oh, New York, that's a rude state. Well, not since 9/11, but with
Well,
I thought that they had a thing like.
that's
Italian, isn't it?
that's what I'm gonna say. That's Italian. Everybody says that about New York. We've been to New York many times, and I found the people to be very polite. I've never had any issues in New York. Yeah, the only time that
downtown city.
yeah, I mean, but even then, we've had homeless people. One guy one time, we got off the subway, came up the steps, and we were kind of lost. It was Janice and I, the kids were all there, and we were looking, and this guy, you can tell he was homeless.
Looking for our way.
Looking for our way. Yeah, we were looking across the street, and Janice was in the Navy, and we were trying to get to the I don't even know what they call them, but it's like the naval office. We were buying tickets for something. I don't remember what we were going to go see, and so they had some discount tickets there. And this guy approached us, and we thought he was going to ask for money. He came up to Janice and told her, "You're just a very pretty lady. You're very pretty. I just want to tell you, very pretty lady." And then he asked if there was anything that. Because we looked lost, and obviously we were terrorists. He says, "What is there something I can help you find?" So she asked, and he knew exactly where it was. How, I don't know, because when we got there, it was a hidden away place. So he must have been in the military as well at some
Walk
point.
the streets quite a bit.
So I did give him some money just for gratitude or whatever, and then we walked across the street. But the people I've found to be very, very polite, very nice people. So, our last one also comes from New York. It's illegal to throw a ball at someone's head just for fun. In writing, guys, just for fun.
Oh,
So our little our little tours of going paintballing probably would be illegal there too, right?
I would think so. So it's just for fun.
It's just a smaller ball.
Just for fun.
Throwing it really fast.
Riding out of on the back of the contagion truck. But that's it for this week's laws of the land.
I feel like you need to adjust that. Somewhere you got to give us a copy of a link or reverse a footnote. A footnote.
Write it down, research it. Yeah. I don't know. I started to research some of them, and some of them I just didn't want to go down those little rabbit holes. It was just,
So I'm going to be busy this week.
right.
Well,
All right. So let's have a talk about it. So we have in the haunt industry, I found this on Hunters Hangout. There is somebody called Emily Lynn with Bloom's FX and Design. They have posted out a casting call. It says, "Don't miss your chance to shine in the haunt industry with the upcoming Haunt Masters TV show. Send a 2-minute audition video showcasing your role, be it performer, makeup artist, lighter, set designer, or costume designer, and tell us why you're eager to compete for great prizes, including cash. You'll definitely be contacted by email no later than April 1st to participate in the show. The only thing we need from you is your name, your information, and what you do in the industry. Please include a short video of your photos of your work. Filming will be roughly 1 month in May. Any and all questions can be handled through the new website, which will be launched in January. No information will be released until NDAs are signed and you are chosen to compete. Interested in sponsorship or advertising, reach out to hauntcore@yahoo.com and explore opportunities to promote your products on our show. Visit hauntcore.com for more information on industry connections, educational resources, and more. The official website launch is set for December to January 15th, 2025.
Is there a deadline for?
It is
Wayne?
currently under construction, so stay tuned to join us for incredible opportunities.
And you're saying Hauntcore?
Hauntcore, Core. Anyways, I thought that could be, I mean, we've talked about doing a TV show ourselves. There's a lot of drama that goes on behind the scenes of your own personal haunts. So I'm curious. I don't really know what they're going to do here, but it sounds almost like they're going to be doing, I'm thinking like a Top Chef type thing, but obviously with like maybe props or like
right.
next model type stuff.
That sounds kind of fun.
Yeah.
I feel like we should send the resumes in there. That would be fun.
Nothing that really fit me. I put like these grand ideas, but I don't really bring much to life. I have to rely on people like Gary or Travis or Dave to make it happen. But Dave could probably go. Dave made a flying seat this last year, and his first one would have been really cool. It was going to be like a teeter-totter, and the other weight was going to be on one end, and the witch was going to be able to fly with the.
She was going to be able to fly over our haunt trailer, our hayride trailer.
Yeah,
and,
but it he didn't give himself enough time to complete it. We're going to work on that this year, but if that will turn out, that's going to be very awesome.
Is it just a counterweight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So somebody could be on the other end doing this.
It's a 2-person project. Yeah, but it
gave him that idea, so you could just give the ideas and have your build team execute them just like you do in real life.
Yeah, I know.
Dave's amazing. He was working on Cody's bike for the coming parade, and Cody needs some new tires.
The Grinch,
the Grump. Yeah,
the Grump.
And Dave took off the old tires, and the new tires wouldn't fit, and he's like, oh, and he like just knew what to do and took an angle grinder and adjusted them, and now they fit. And I'm not talking about the lug nuts. I'm talking about where they go over the axle part.
Yeah,
he made it work.
Dave makes ideas come to life for sure, as he did.
Just tell me what he said. He'll say, "Just tell me what you want."
Yeah,
what you want.
Yeah, everybody needs a Dave on their build team.
Yes,
we're gonna be Sober Dave. If you guys forgot, because I know that he has a following.
Nobody forgets about Sober Dave.
No, that's amazing.
That's my tidbit about what's going on in the haunt industry. If you are listening and you've got somebody in your haunt that would be great for this, have them submit for them. There's a few people in our haunt. I might just submit for them.
Good idea. Good idea.
The Will Hub. Somebody out there's yelling at me. It was the Will Hub.
The Will Hub?
Yeah, the tire. Oh, somebody out there's probably yelling. It's like, Will Hub. Everybody Hub. I'm like the Will actual thingy.
It'll hit him on the way home. And
Will Hub.
So Sober Dave just
it was amazing. It was amazing. He just said, "Do you have a grinder?" I said, "Yeah," and just sat there and just carved the. Okay, and then he hammered in some type of He just had these things in his truck. He had this little like pipe thing that just happened to be the diameter. He hammered that in there. Okay, it works.
And that's why we keep him around, Sober Dave.
Yeah,
So-
he kind of handy.
Let's talk Christmas haunts. I'm not talking fun and cutesy Christmas. We're talking scary and terrifying Christmas. What do you guys think? Would you pay for a Christmas haunt? Do you?
We have.
I
You
would.
have? Yeah,
would.
absolutely.
Pay to go through
Yeah.
or pay to put one on?
I
Pay to go through it? I would go through one, yeah. But so
Not a Christmas.
Oh, not
I've done cute ones.
Yeah. I've just always said, and there's a lot of Christmas haunts out there. Not as many, obviously, as in Halloween. And I think the biggest reason is because there's just most people throughout the month of December, they just don't have that extra discretionary money to put out.
And a lot of time, I don't know about everybody, but for me, myself, sometimes October is just so draining. I'm not ready to turn around and do December.
Yeah, when you deal with
But I have been trying to push for us to do it. Like our haunt is still up. So I feel like we could do Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Is there a Friday the 13th? You said there? Is it really?
I was
Nice.
gonna
like
say
a
the-
one-night event, Friday the 13th. I liked the idea of calling it Silent Night, but I've seen that there's a few other haunts there called Silent Night.
Oh, is
So
it?
that'd be kind of cool.
Like,
Like
you
play
have
up.
some big tall guy, maybe even give him like stilts or something, and have a scary Krampus in there.
Yeah, we have we have a few sets of stills.
Have you ever seen that movie?
Krampus?
Yeah.
Probably.
We need a discussion on that movie, but
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I've never seen
Krampus.
it. I've never.
Well, there was a few different movies with Krampus in it.
I haven't seen many scary movies though.
Exports, that was a good one. There's a few with Krampus. They've done some cool things.
do
One
you
Christmas
think?
movie I really like is called Elves, but that's for another day.
Oh, I like Elf.
Yeah? Yeah, no, Elves.
Wrong one.
Yeah. Creepy little things.
There are a lot of people that are doing
Silent Night, Deadly Night. That was a good
Mm.
one. Especially the second one. The second one was better than the first one.
called Silent Night.
So the last movie that I went to, the last scary movie that I went to, Gary,
You went to
Yeah.
a movie?
yeah, that I actually went and watched at the theater was Phantasm.
Okay, so that was a while ago. What was that,
Just a
1968?
few years ago, right?
That's a few years ago. Wow.
Who did you go with?
I was like 10.
Yeah, this
We went-
went back in like 78.
Yeah, I probably went with I think I went with my older brother.
I said, it wasn't me. So
It was.
who did you go with?
Good Lord, look.
There's a couple.
I didn't even know you existed back then. Don't get jealous.
She's all bad.
I think,
Go with.
right? I think after 40 years, you know me better than that.
Over 10. We didn't start seeing each other until we were 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the following month. I think. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I put out on Haunters Hangout asking for people who did Christmas haunts, and there's a few. There's Nightmares on the Road, Fright Haven Haunted Attractions.
Are those locally or here?
They're all over the place. Tales of Terror Haunted Attraction, Asylum X Haunted House, Dread Hollow. Terror on Route 66 has a thing called Santa's Slaughterhouse, and this is in St.
I
Louis.
don't know why I think that's funny.
I think it's a cool
I
name.
do.
A lot of the names are really good. Yeah, some of the people are very clever with their names.
Are these all month long Christmas
lot of
haunts,
them
or
are-
are they just like a weekend event or?
A lot of them are all month long, or just it's not I haven't seen anything that's like Thursdays and Sundays like
Right.
Halloween would be. A lot of them are just doing Friday the 13th. Like this one, Screams Haunted Experience. It says sorta merry, lotta scary, Friday the 13th. So that's just
See,
13th.
And I guess my biggest thing is, as an owner, there's a lot of money that goes out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you got cast that you have to pay.
The insurance.
The insurance. How do you make money with one night? Because if it rains, or
we don't know that it's even a for-profit haunt. This is
it could, well,
to me, there's
if it's a haunt, it's not for profit.
a lot of
Say
things
that.
out there that are non-profits.
All right.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so everything's volunteered,
Well,
but you
I
still
don't
got
know. I
you
don't.
still got a space, and you got a bunch of building materials, and
Still on insurance.
Right,
still
insurance.
gonna have insurance. Yeah.
Well, next week we do have somebody that's doing a Christmas hunt that will be on the show, and
Nice.
they'll give us more of an insight.
Yeah,
We've
but-
done cutesy haunt, and it did very well. In Louisiana, it did very well. I mean, it was cute.
Cutesy haunt or cutesy Christmas?
Cutesy Christmas. Yeah. We've done cutesy Christmas, and it did very well. My problem is our page is Ranch of Horror. So when we switch it for holidays, we do Ranch of Holidays. It takes them, like, we'll do ranchofholidays.com, takes them to our Ranch of Horror page. But I don't like getting rid of all the scary stuff. So I just feel like it's hard for us to.
Right. Because you have to build that following,
Right.
build its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're new, working on it.
We'll figure it. And maybe we can get tips from, the people that write in or who's visiting next week. I am excited about that, though, to learn more on that.
Yeah, there is we have gotten costumes before from Dark Stitches out of, is it Slidell? I think they're Slidell. They're just outside of Slidell. And they, Louisiana, they have really cool Krampus costumes.
Yeah,
so
she does very good.
She did, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that I have an opinion on Christmas haunts. It's hard because we've never really been in that type of an industry.
I've never even been to a Christmas haunt, so
it'd be interesting to go. Yeah, I'd love to go
locally and see what they're about.
So when we did the Midsummer Screen 2000, when the whole group went with us in the hotels, they had the haunted houses set up there, and there was one that had their haunted house, their Christmas.
They did?
There, yeah.
I don't remember.
And with the Krampus going through. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year, but that was pretty. The costumes, they had more money. They had more effort into the costumes and everything. It was really cool. And I remember thinking, oh, we are not near that budget.
Yeah, I would like to. I think we should try it. I think we should do December Friday the 13th haunt and put them all, like, we have the elf costumes, make them all just keep the scenes how they are. Just mix it up.
Right. I agree. Well, let's shoot for the 13th. Put it out there.
We'll see.
Let's shoot the grump in the Contagion truck, and
yeah, we do have it. We do have the Contagion truck ready to roll, so we can do Contagion.
Yeah.
So Contagion is one of our attractions. You sit in the truck and it's a high speed paintball attraction. So you're gonna shoot real live dead zombies while
Grinches.
Yeah, we could do it for Grinches. Actually, originally Contagion was supposed to have drop boxes, and you drop care packages, so it's like a 2-part game.
Yeah.
So I thought with Christmas it would be fun to have them. Like they saved Christmas by returning presents in the chimney chute.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
That's a cute idea. Let's do it.
I think we should think about it.
Great.
All right. Director Gary, what's your horror film this week?
All right. Our horror film this week, and I regret it now because I was really wanting to do now that I sit here, I was really wanting to do a Christmas themed one, but that's all right. So today next week we'll do a few Christmas movies.
There you go.
But it's December. You could do another one today and tomorrow and next week.
All right, we'll do 2 films. I lost my information, so I'm going to wing it. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite movies, and I found this completely by accident. So what I've been doing is there is a place, well, this is going to help you guys out, but if you're in Modesto or in the surrounding area on Sisk Road, there's a place called Mad Monk. And if you go in there, most of their DVDs, and I mean they have like thousands of DVDs, they are $1 each. So every month, I didn't do it last month, but most every month I go in with $20, $30.
Payday.
Huh?
Payday,
yeah. I'll go in there every month and I'll get 30 or so movies, right? And it doesn't have to be, a lot of times it's stuff I've never even seen. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to watch it. And then at the same time, if I find something on Facebook Marketplace where people are trying to get rid of their DVDs, if it's a good price, I don't care what it is. Because if you watch stuff that you're unfamiliar with, you sometimes get surprises. That could be either negative or positive surprises. And one of the surprises was a movie called Frogs. I had never seen it before. That movie was great. I don't care what anybody says. I give that movie 5 stars. It makes
He doesn't care what you have to say about it.
It is so ridiculous, but good.
So is this a movie you picked up from Monk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was $1. And so the thing that was so great about it is it's a title Frogs, but the frogs don't do anything. In the entire film, they don't do anything. Well, they might. I'll get to that in a second. Because I watched it. I watched it for about the 5th time as I was driving up here today. and so I just had to go to the side. And it occurred to me, like, the frogs don't attack people. They don't do anything. And I'll get back to what I was saying. But so it starts off with Sam Elliot. And this is pre-mustache days. And he is a naturalist / photographer for, I don't know, some magazine. And it's never quite too clear where he's at, But there's this rich guy. He owns an island in the middle of a swamp, except sometimes the swamp has a big lake on it. So the continuity isn't really all there. And so anyways, Sam is out in his boat, in this canoe, and he's taking pictures. And there's a pipe, for some reason, that is dumping toxic sludge into the lake that surrounds this rich person's island. And it turns out that that rich person owns that pipe, and that pipe, I guess, is somehow connected to something. They never really got there. Anyways, it's making all the animals go crazy, and the frogs, I guess, horny, because there is thousands of frogs. And so Sam Elliott is doing his thing, and he's now out of the swamp / lake, going across the lake in his canoe, and these drunk, they're supposed to be young people, but they're actually in their 40s, hit him with their ski boat. And they take Sam, they say, hey, we're sorry, come to our house, we'll feed you, get you some dry clothes. And Sam's like, I don't like you guys, but okay. So they go to this person's house, and there's this big plantation-looking mansion there, and this family that lives there are just complete morons, and there's a hierarchy to it where the grandpa is basically whatever he says goes, and he's a moron, but he's the rich guy of the family. And so Sam shows up and goes, hey, I noticed there was some like sludge going into your lake. Now, if it's the guy's lake, what does Sam care?
Yeah.
Because the guy owns the lake. If he wants to pollute his own lake, let him pollute his own lake or swamp or whatever it was. Anyway, Sam's upset, and the old man just doesn't seem to care. And then that part just kind of goes away. We never talk about that again. And we start taking note that there's all these frogs around. And at first the frogs are a nuisance. And now then all of a sudden there's a snake in the house. And for some reason the grandpa, who's also paralyzed, by the way, keeps a revolver in his Colonel Sanders looking suit, and pulls it out and shoots the snake in the house. And he has his black butler take the snake. I mean, there's some like heavy overtones of racism right here. That guy's not a nice guy. And then what happens next is people just start going out into the swamp, because the swamp's there again. And they go out in the swamp, and for whatever reason, the lizards, which are not native to the area, the frogs, which are not native to the area, the tarantulas, why there's tarantulas in swamps, I don't know.
What's the next movie?
There was an alligator, a whole bunch of iguanas. I don't think they live there. Except for the frogs. The frogs are just like these voyeuristic looking things who they're staring at the animals, and then the animals start killing the people. And then at one point, there was a mother, but we're not quite sure who she's the mother to, and I guess there's no husband, but she's supposed to be 40, but she's 70. And she goes out in the forest to catch butterflies in the swamp, which is not a thing, I don't think. And then the swamp actually comes alive, and the vines get her, and they drag her and kill her in, I could have been quicksand, I don't quite remember.
So the vines are scarier than the frogs?
But in my team,
Well, and then the vines never
it's the
come back.
frogs that-
The vines never come back. It happened that one scene. I'm like, oh, okay, so the plants are going to kill people too. No, they don't come back. And so these animals are killing all these people. The grandpa that lives there refuses to let anybody go because the following day is his birthday. And he's not going to let anything ruin his birthday. And he tells them that. He says, you're not going to ruin my birthday. But people are dropping dead. His family is dropping dead. He doesn't care. He's not going to have his birthday ruined. So finally, Sam's able to talk some sense into the other people before the critters kill them. Then something happens. I'm not quite sure what. But now Sam's in a canoe with these people.
You've watched it 5 times recently.
You watch it, you'll see. And they make it to the road. And these people pick them up. Now, people pick up Sam and these 2 other people who made it. And the people who picked them up are like, it's so weird. We've been on the road for 3 hours, but we haven't seen anybody for a solid hour. And all of a sudden, Sam looks back, and the kid has a frog. Dun, dun, dun. And then it cuts back to the old man who's now by himself in the house. And the frogs are pressing all over the glass. It's a 2-story home. And they're upstairs somehow. And they're pressing it, and the glass breaks, and he screams, and we know those frogs are going to get him, even though they didn't kill anybody throughout the entire movie. So I assume they just hopped on him to death. I highly recommend Frogs, 1972. It is, believe it or not, free to watch on YouTube.
Nice.
Okay, I have to add to that. 72, I was 5. I was thinking I was 10, but I may have been 10. I don't know. I may have been 16 because my mom was, apparently you guys would have been good friends because I liked watching scary movies. And From my young mind, though, I remember the frogs. They watched everything, and I may be wrong, but it just felt like every scene there was a frog.
That's all they did.
"It's always watching you."
Well,
It was the frogs.
well on
That's all I
the
remember.
on well, I don't. They didn't sing, but on
Oh.
but on the drive here, I noticed. I always thought, oh, the frogs don't do anything. Oh, the frogs don't do anything. And now I'm starting to wonder, were the frogs telepathic?
They were the mastermind.
And they were trying to make all. There's some guy out there. Somebody who's probably screaming at me like, "You're so stupid! Why did you not pick that up with the first movie?" Well, I did it. And the frogs, I think, are making the other animals attack all the other humans.
Honestly, I thought that's what it was. That the
I
frogs.
totally missed that the first 4 times I watched it.
Are you gonna have to go back and rewatch it
I
now?
have no desire to watch it again, but
Oh,
I'm
it's
probably
good.
going to have to.
It's on
because
Blu-ray, so if you want an extra clear copy, it is on Blu-ray.
Those are $2.
Yeah.
oh,
Well, actually, yes, they are.
do we even have a Blu-ray player still? I just can't.
Well, the copy on YouTube is really good. It's very clear.
We're going to have to go sit in a theater and watch movies.
Normally, the copies I try to get are the worst. I just like it. I just like to get the worst gritty prints you could find, and I put those on the DVD player, which hooks up to the projector. So it's nice to see all the film grain and the choppiness and the cigarette burns on.
Yeah.
I just really like that.
Yeah. Dates.
Those are the authentic ones.
Yeah.
So, what was Sam's character's name? It couldn't have been Sam, was it?
That's a good question.
You don't know that?
No, I've seen it 5 times. I don't remember his name.
This might be why you're so burnt out.
Why don't you try sleeping at night instead of watching this?
No, I'm getting like 6 hours a night.
And there's several spots when they're watching the frogs are just staring. It's like,
That's it. There's
yeah,
but that's all that's happening.
yeah.
And then it's there's like an iguana that is not native to that area.
Does it say that on there, or you just know?
What?
This iguana is not native to this area.
Well, there's trivia. If you guys look up trivia, even like the frogs are cane toads, which are not native to the area.
What was
and-
yeah.
So did you look?
I think it's supposed to be like
for this
Louisiana.
movie?
Okay.
Huh?
Did you look up trivia for this movie?
Yeah, but I forgot it all already.
I know, but
It was on his phone.
do you do that with all the movies you watch?
Normally, yeah, but oftentimes there's special features.
Watch movies differently.
That's why it takes him 18 hours to watch a movie because he's looking.
He doesn't understand you guys talking.
Oftentimes I'll watch a movie with the commentary first, and then I'll watch the movie later without the
So
commentary.
if we come to your house to watch a movie, we have
I
to
will-
do a weekend event.
I will
It's
It's a weekend event. Yeah, it's a weekend thing. So
enough for that.
pack a pack.
Wait. You
Pack some pajamas because you're gonna be there all weekend.
the first.
First, normally, yeah.
What else would you not know?
There's some really good ones out there.
Why do you watch it first?
It's interesting.
Yeah, but it could be interesting after you watch the movie because then it's going to give away all the surprises.
I'm okay.
Uh.
I don't know. I just like it.
You have to go watch a movie with him.
I don't think you are, Gary.
Stephen King, Sweet Supper, Stephen
Not
King,
convincing.
and those two have very good commentary. Those were by Mick Garris and a few other people.
You know,
There's some good commentary.
but there's a whole audience out there that is loving this.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah, all three of them.
Why would you do it any differently? I get
Yeah.
it.
Well, I'm thinking him and my mom would have been really good for that.
To watch the commentary first, I just don't understand
It is so. I think it's because I really like
the
how
background.
everything goes together,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I think when the movie where you rented the movies and the blockbusters and
Yeah.
Hollywood, when those first came out, and you could probably say the years, early 80s, right?
Mhm.
That's what she did she didn't go rent, Hallmark movies. She brought home scary movies to her 5 kids to watch for the
Oh,
weekend.
good.
It was a quality time.
Nice. But back then there was a whole different gearing in distribution, because you had people like Charles Band, and you had all these people who were putting out a movie a month,
Yeah.
is what I should say. Puppet
There's
Master.
kind of some cringe movies in there, though.
Well, they were all low budget, but the video stores didn't care because they were filling their walls.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So you're saying that the video stores just opened in the 80s?
1900s.
Which is like,
Yeah,
and they're already
What
on.
this?
mid '80s
Wait,
actually. Well,
wait.
before that, yeah.
I just want to say this to you. This is, I don't know if it's a problem or not, but when my mother, like they say, oh, that's not my mom. Like the mom's buying McDonald's and whatever for the grandkids. And for you couldn't have McDonald's, you can have whatever. That's not how you raised me. They didn't raise me. we were raised on scary movies. But when my mom passed and we were cleaning out the house, there was 1,000 Disney movies in there with your kids' names on them. And so, where did this come from?
You're like, kids had Disney movies growing up.
I know we watched like Fantasia and
How does Heather say it? That's just an old lady trying to get into heaven.
Good one.
That's not the person that raised me. That's just an old lady who's trying to get into heaven.
That sounds like some kids I would say.
Well, next weekend we're going to do 2 more Christmas movies
Okay.
next weekend.
Nice.
Part 1 and part 2. And if you watch them both, it's the same film.
So really, we're just going to talk about one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a surprise.
Oh, I thought I might.
The people at home, no. I'm sure they already know. But they're excited.
They're excited.
I'll tell you
All
later.
3 of them.
You can watch it after the podcast.
Okay.
The second one's better than the first one.
Is it?
Normally
But
doesn't.
it's the same movie?
It's the same damn
oh.
film.
It's a haunted Christmas movie.
But it's not the same film. But it's the same film.
Okay.
It's a
so
Christmas
actors and everything.
No?
Oh,
Well,
confused.
a little bit.
That's fine. I'll wait for this. I'll wait. I'll be just
now.
There's a lot of
Gary.
Sitting on the edge of
the second
seat.
one has a lot of the first film's footage in it.
Oh,
And
sounds familiar.
but the guy who played the main character, just if it wasn't for him, I don't think that film would have done great. But he was, if you watch any interviews with him, he really was trying hard to act. And so he was trying to do his best job, but he wasn't trying to portray the character that he portrayed. But the way it came out was just magic.
Oh wow.
It was so over the top. I'm not saying it was a good acting job. I'm saying it was just perfect for that movie.
Right.
And
I'm really
I'll leave
saying that they
I'll leave the people at home with this: garbage day. And they'll know what I mean.
Nobody gonna know what you.
Oh, I bet you they do.
Would more.
Bet you they do.
All right, I'm not trying to hijack your scene, but I do want to throw in the show that we watched, or movie we watched this week. I watched it yesterday with Creepy Case. Actually, I tried to watch it the night before yesterday, the night before
Yeah.
yesterday. Okay, but something was happening, and I'm like, no, we got to shut it off. I can't watch it.
It
It
was
was
scary.
3:00 in the morning, and it was like gonna keep me up.
You do.
That's gonna keep me up. So I was like, no, you gotta shut it off. There was a part that was just too weird. But the lady stabs somebody really hard with the screwdriver because he puts his hand under. She tempts him with drugs. Like, come on, I'll give you some drugs. You gotta put your hand under. I can't reach. I'm really stuck. Puts his hand under and she stabs through him. But she's stuck in this pantry, right? But anyways, after I seen that, I was like, oh, we gotta shut it off. I can't watch this right now. Well, the next morning I do watch it with Case, and it is such a good movie. It's called Shut In. Not to be political, but the only way that you can watch it is on Daily Wire. You have to be a Daily Wire subscriber, which we are because Chris subscribes to Daily Wire because there was another show that we were seeing advertising that we wanted on.
Can I just use? Is this like Netflix, or can I just use
Yeah.
her account?
Yeah, I have no idea what
Yeah.
Daily Wire is.
Daily Wire.
She is your neighbor. You can just walk over there and watch it.
Yeah.
Just-
Because
Evidently, you got to do it at 3:00 in the morning.
I waited until Casey woke up. We watched it the next day, but the whole time he's like, "Mom, you said this. When is it going to get scary? When's it going to get scary?" And I'm like, "This isn't scary to you." 'Cause
Meanwhile, Heather's under the covers like this.
so the reason why my mom started watching Disney movies.
I guess the right word for it. I don't know if suspenseful. It's like
Yeah.
thrilling. I don't know.
You guys want to watch a good movie? That's 1BR.
One BR.
Have you guys seen that yet?
No.
It was good. I got a chance to interview the producer, and so I got the background on what was going on, behind the scenes stuff. But they're working on a sequel. But 1BR, meaning abbreviation for one bedroom.
Okay.
How should I put it? All right, I'll just tell you a little bit about it. So it's this girl. She's looking for an apartment down in the LA area, if I remember correctly, and a lot of people are fighting over this apartment. Not fighting, but it's an open house. And she gets it, and there's a set of rules, and she breaks the rules. And it's worse than any homeowner association you've ever seen. And the next thing she knows, she can't leave.
Oh.
It is a very good.
Because she broke the rules.
Well, it turns out they never wanted her to leave before she even broke the rule.
Oh.
So I highly recommend seeing this. It is a.
Do you have it on your DVR?
Was it on Blu-ray?
Blu-ray?
I don't know if I own that one or not.
One.
It's certainly on Amazon by
Oh,
now. I would think it's free to watch on Amazon by now. But it is good.
Yeah. speaking of other things that are good, it's a series called From. I got Janice into watching it. Is it not good or not?
Well, I lost my iPad.
Right, but it
sometime,
was
right?
not good.
It was good.
I keep telling Gary he needs to watch it.
No talking.
I know.
Please, you're watching Frogs 5 times since
On the drive here.
that's what we did.
I was like, okay, watching.
And I was started watching From. But From is really good. I will do a review on that in the future because it's really good show.
Yeah.
All right, Nannie Jannie. That's your paranormal story. And
Rabbit hole, rabbit hole, rabbit hole. I've heard you all say that, but let me just tell you, I've been down a rabbit hole this week. So talking to Madam May, Miss Heather, she has said, hey, don't use all just your personal stories. Broaden out, get some more stories and do research and what have you not. And she was very good at that when she had this segment, Risha. Well, let me just tell you, I thought, okay, I remember when I was 3 years old and this happened in Hayward. I was born in Merced, California, but we had moved shortly after and we lived in Hayward, California, Fremont. And I remember, and I have a great memory of those young age, but I remember things happening. So I said, let me look at paranormal in Fremont. Oh, good Lord. Then I said, oh, I don't think I want to do that area. Let me look at paranormal in Turlock because we had lived there. Oh, I don't want to do there. I said, okay, Chowchilla. This is where we currently are, Chowchilla. I think underneath the grounds of Chowchilla, there's this big old mass hole with all of these entities that are trying to get it. Like there's stories in every town that you go in. Like then I wanted to see, okay, well, what's in this town? Well, what's in this town? In every place that I looked up, there is paranormal stories or events happening that'll just blow your mind. Like it's not just Janice sees something or Gary sees something. Like there is something going on in every
Your hometown.
in your hometown. So I do say this before I get too far. My name is Janice. My email is Nannie, Jannie, JANNIE at gmail.com. Or you can just send your, if you have afterhours at gmail.com. If you have any stories of your hometown that you want to share, send me some information. Let us do a little bit of background and research for it because we'd like to share what's going on in your hometown or in your house or in your life or what have you not, so that we can share some real life stories and maybe have other guests on the show too that can share their experiences. But I want to just do a quick thing about Chowchilla. Chowchilla, you think we're in the middle of nowhere, California. It's where all the sand comes in. You think we're in the desert. We're not in the bright green, and we're not in the city of Los Angeles or San Francisco. We're just kind of out here where the dust blows. Nothing happens. I remember as a kid in Chowchilla, you guys remember the kidnapping? I think you shared with that on one of your episodes before. No? The bus kidnapping and what have you. So a lot has happened. We got 2 prisons here, and so a lot has happened in Chowchilla. But let me tell you, going about a rabbit hole, there is tunnels. What's the population of Chowchilla? A couple hundred.
No, there's probably 8,000 maybe.
Yes.
At least 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's not very big, but the stories are phenomenal of the paranormal. I remember as a kid that the Save Mart that used to be over by 52 down further on Robertson Boulevard on the other end of town. I think there's a grocery outlet there now, and or Dollar General's there, and it was haunted. I remember stories, people saying, "Oh, they were doing the night stocks and cans just would go flying off the shelf." And I remember when we lived here as young adults, I was creeped out to go into the store because sometimes when you would open the glass doors, like if you're going, there would be like faces there, and it would just kind of be faces, but there's nobody behind you. Like you would see a reflection, but
reflection, dear.
you would see a reflection, but you like of somebody behind you, but
It's a girl from the mirror.
there. And that was stated so many times, or stories so many times of this happening. And then I'm reading, and it's like, oh my goodness. So now at the new Save Mart, they have sightings and paranormal happening. Same thing. People are stocking shelves and things. So whatever they left or thought they left at the old location apparently jumped in a block and followed.
Following the Save Mart. It's not in the building. It's following the Save.
That's what it sounds like. And the same thing in the grocery aisles, the frozen aisles, when they open the Anthony doors, there's reflections of somebody there. And one in 4 different articles that I was reading, when people were talking about it, they were seeing they were describing the same face.
Yeah.
So these are like 5 years separation in time, but they describe the same face. So tell me something ain't there. So I mean, there's some truth to it somewhere, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies just to think about that. And then I went on to read, the tunnels, and we know a lot of towns in the 1800s and the 1900s had tunnels underneath for whatever reason, whether it was so the husbands can go, or the men can go from one bar to another under the tunnels. Like in Chowchilla, I know that like you can go from the Cotton Club to what, I can't remember the name of it, but I remember being as a young kid, my parents talking about these tunnels, and they had a joke about and I don't know what the tunnels are like. I really don't know. I know that they're still there, and I know that there's a tunnel club that talk about these tunnels. And I read that some people thought, they were used for opium distribution or whatever. But more than that, I read that the ghosts and the entities that were in these tunnels. So, like I said, we're a small town Chowchilla that we're in, and there's so many stories of the paranormal. I really would like to go hear from our guests or members listening and share some stories about your hometown. I've looked up Houston. We lived in Houston, and we've experienced events in Houston, and the homes being built on Indian burial grounds, and they have shared lots of stories. The community has shared stories about events that have happened, paranormal events happen there in Houston. In Turlock, at the there's a cemetery and there was a concentration camp that shares. There's a lot of stories that are shared with the entities and scare factors that are happening there to this day. So I am just going to leave it at that right now, because I want you guys to share some of your stories, so it's not all about mine, so we can come on and share your story.
Let me ask you a question real quick, because I happen to know the answer to this, but while you were doing research about Chowchilla, do you want to share with them what you found out Chowchilla actually means?
Oh my goodness, yes. Oh, how could I forget this?
I don't know.
So, do you know what the meaning of Chowchilla is in the Indian language? And I forgot now because I don't have my phone on it. Died looking up stuff. Do you know what it means?
Small dog.
Yeah.
Chowchilla.
That's a Chilala dog.
Chowchilla in the Indian means murder. Murder.
Oh, right.
Goodness.
And so I said, okay,
Murder.
what does Chowchilla mean in Spanish? Well, Chowchilla is not a Spanish word.
No.
We got to love AI too. So it's like, I don't. It's just so weird. So
Pretty cool. The Rancho Horror is located in Murder,
Right?
Murder, California.
Yeah.
So, this is something that has happened to me just recently, and it kind of stemmed back from a story that I know we probably talked about on The Haunt before, but I have to share because it kind of creeped me out this week. So remember way back years ago when Jesslyn was little, and she would say, Jesslyn is my cousin, and she was really little, and she would say everything was her carrot, my carrot, my carrot, my carrot. We kind of had no idea what she was talking about.
thinking of it as a stuffed animal or something.
She would end up like under her bed against the wall and screaming in the middle of the night, and they'd say, how did you even get under there? Because it was a toddler bed just a few inches off the ground. And she would tell my carrot, my carrot. Well, in the daytime we'd say, crawl under there, and she couldn't crawl under there by herself, so we had no idea how she was ending up under her bed. Well, one day somebody came to play with her, and they knocked on the door. They knew the house, they knew the baby. This little girl came in, she knew the baby, and I was babysitting, so I didn't really think anything of it. I'm like, Jesslyn seemed to know her. She was only 2 at the time, had to be a neighbor kid. She came in and played, and this is back when we had disposable. I had 2 left, and I wanted to go take the camera in, so I took 2 disposable pictures. And later when week later when the pictures came back, we were going through it, and my aunt's like, well, who's this? And I was like, you don't know who that is? Jesslyn's like, that's the carrot. And just some creepy looking little girl that no adult had ever seen before, but this little girl knew and we never seen her since in her life since. Well, now JoJo's been going around the house, and everything's like, oh, my carrot, where's my carrot? And I'm like,
Oh boy, here we go.
everything is, where's my carrot? My carrot. Like, what do you mean your carrot?
Get a camera.
It's not just me. The little ones. I really believe that the younger you are, the more your mind is open to that. As we get older, either we're scared or we shut things off, or you just think it's not possible, or people will think you're weird if you see these things or what have you. Not. So I think when they're younger, their mind is open to it, and yes, everybody is
about
okay.
this particular one is there's a physical picture of this little girl, and she looked like I remember her haircut. Like she just looked kind of creepy, anyways. But you don't judge people like
Right.
she's a little girl coming to play.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So let's start taking more pictures of JoJo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But he did remind me of that. But then, and he actually just did that today. Where'd my carrot go? I'm like, I think they have been eating carrots. I was like, are you talking about your carrot? No, my carrot. It was right here. I'm like, oh no.
Oh boy.
Right there.
See, that's like me. I love pet monsters. See, it's right there. See, you're open to it. Wow. Just wow. I have so many stories to share, but like I said, that on our segment, Heather said, "Hey, make it about other people too." So let's just.
I mean, all of us should make it about other people so that more people feel more. It's not just you.
Right. So I'm opening up. That's all. I'm opening up. I'm sure my email address. Send in your stories if you want to chat. We can chat back and forth, and we'd love to hear what you guys have to say and some of your stories that you want to share.
And next week, we're going to be interviewing Devin Price. He's the owner of Nightmares on the Road, and they are doing a haunted Christmas attraction called Holiday Fright Fest. So it's Nightmares on the Road presents Holiday Fright Fest. All right, friends, if you're still listening, obviously we have something that you're interested in. So we're going to ask that you follow us on all of your social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. In the meantime, let's stay connected. And remember,
Do
it was a haunt.